After the very average start to the season, we're rebuilding Liverpool today.
Yeah, we get rid of Klopp, shall we?
Yeah, about time,
I think
innit?
he's had it now.
Yeah. Well, we're actually doing it with a bit of a twist as well. So not only are we doing our standard rebuild, but I'm very much restricting myself with the tactics. Now, integrated onto the new Football Manager was the low block, and that is very much the opposite of Jurgen Klopp's tactics, of course.
He presses very high, doesn't he?
Very high at the pitch. So let's take a look. Well, actually, no. We'll look at the transfers first, then we'll look at the tactic, because I'm pretty much restricting myself to only being able to use a low block kind of defensive system, very much like an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer style, I guess. He was very much a low block. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look then at the transfers in and out in this very first season. You're going to think I'm mental, but I've sold 2 players, Roberto Firmino being the first one.
Well, you've got to do that. If you're going to do the low block, this has got to go out, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't have too many attacking players, can you?
Exactly, and he's not got the pace to be able to counter too much. Plus, he's got 11 finishing as a striker. I was quite surprised by that when I loaded up the new game. I thought he's better at finishing than 11, but fair enough. But that's not the only guy. I also sold Jordan Henderson to Real Madrid as well.
Your favourite player?
My favourite player. Yeah, insert picture of me wearing a Jordan Henderson shirt on my stag do. But no, the main reason for it was I didn't want this to be too easy. So I started trying to sell players when they got to 31, 32.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you now, I've actively tried to sell Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk.
As well?
This summer I tried to sell both, but these were the ones that I only was successful in actually selling. Naby Keita was another player for £25 million to Manchester City. He's the only club that would come in for Naby Keita, but I believe he's got a bit of an injury record problem, and I think we could do better.
Yeah.
So I had been bringing in some new players, and I think Liverpool fans will like the ones that I have brought in. Here's the big man, Jude Bellingham. They're going to like that one.
I think any team would like him coming to their team now, wouldn't they?
Absolutely, yeah.
Was he
Fantastic
19
player.
and he's captain?
19 years of age, and he's captain of Dortmund in the Bundesliga and in Champions League matches. He is also really good already at the start of the game, but he has a fantastic potential, probably to be the world's best midfielder, I'd imagine, because he looks like he's on track for that.
I hope he does, because he's English.
It'd be great for our national team for sure.
Yeah.
But he's got fantastic player traits, and it's pretty much the player that Liverpool fans are hoping they get next summer.
Yeah.
That's kind of the rumor mill going around, that is that they're going to pick up Jude Bellingham. I thought I'd do it the summer before that. £79 million was how much it cost me after a few very good seasons for Borussia Dortmund. But he's not the only guy I brought in. Benjamin Pavard from Bayern Munich was also another player that I brought in. Main reason he can play right back and centre back, so it gives us a little bit of cover in both of those positions, and he's good enough as well. Of course, he won the World Cup for France as well, so he's got a lot of experience on the pitch. But the final player, Yuri Tillemans.
Another good player.
Very good.
Another good midfield player,
Yeah, so I think Liverpool are really struggling in midfield right now, and every Liverpool fan that I speak to, that's their weekness of their
they are,
team.
but they've got a big injury list as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
You know, I do feel sorry for Klopp at this present moment.
I don't.
I know you wouldn't. As a neutral, I feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
But, they're going to be a different team when all their players start coming back again.
Yeah, I agree.
They're hot and cold at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, Darwin Núñez is starting to score a lot of goals. Everybody was making him out to be a flop. He's now got more goals than Gabi Jesus.
Yeah.
So whether you consider that to be a flop or not, I think it's just a matter of time. I think he's got the perfect physical structure
100%.
for the Premier League and obviously Champions League. It's just a case of getting his confidence up, which I think he's getting now.
And watching his temperament.
Watch those elbows flying around.
Yeah.
So I mentioned, of course, the tactic of the low block scenario. So our first season, we're going to look at a tactic like this. Now, the trouble is with a low block scenario is you can't kind of play a standard formation because you might get kind of caught out. So what I'm trying to do is pack out the midfield here. We've got 3 centre-backs, which Liverpool do have 3 really good centre-backs in Joe Matip, Virgil van Dijk, Konate, and you've got Joe Gomez, so that's a 4th, and I brought in Benjamin Pavard. There's a 5th, and you've got a couple of backups. Fabinho can even fill in there if you need him to. Of course, we've got right wing back as Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's probably better further up the pitch than he is further back.
Well, that's been proven recently, isn't it?
Exactly. And of course, on the left-hand side, kind of the same with Andy Robertson, but I'm not saying he's a bad defender. I think he's just better going forward.
Yeah.
So that gives these 2 guys the license to travel forward without relying too much on them coming back, and we've got the 3 centre-backs there to cover.
Talking about Andy Robertson being Scottish.
Big history with Liverpool players.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, you go through the Liverpool's history, and most of their trophies that they've won over the years, there's always, I think they've won 5 trophies without one Scottish player or someone in the squad to do with Scotland.
Yeah, which is not a lot considering how many trophies they've won.
And their very first game that they ever played in 1892, I think it was, every player was Scottish.
That's mental. That is crazy.
They beat Rotherham in a friendly 7-1, I think it was.
Yeah.
But every player was Scottish.
That's absolutely insane. What a mental fact that is. So in midfield then, I want Segundo Volante. I want this to be Bellingham's role. He's good at a deeper role because he can also tackle and progress forward, and that's the idea of a Segundo Volante. They sit deeper, but they do progress further forward. And then we've got Yuri Tillemans in this centre midfielder on attack because he is a beast at passing the ball. So we want him there. With, of course, 2 strikers. We've got abundance, really, of strikers. And one of these guys are going to be missing out because the likes of Luis Diaz is more of a winger, and that might be a problem for us going forward. But Mo Salah, of course, can play anywhere up front. Jota and Darwin Núñez is going to be kind of battling out for that second position. I find it really funny as a pressing forward. These are our best options, and Virgil van Dijk is at the bottom. That's bizarre, isn't it? Ahead of like midfielders.
Well, if you watched the game against Nottingham Forest, he is a very good striker.
So, right, now I mentioned the tactic being a low block. We are playing on a cautious mentality, which in FM22 I would never do. But in FM23, there are some proof that it can work.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to give it a try. Cautious mentality. I'll also let you in on a little secret, Dad. I tried this to begin with on a defensive and a very defensive mentality, and I was sacked twice in the first season. One of the times I was sacked, I was top of the league.
Hey.
Top of the league, and I was sacked because I got eliminated in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and I was out of the EFL Cup. I don't know what happened with the FA Cup.
EFL Cup, done it, mate.
Yeah, that's
when
it.
you get knocked out of that, you're in trouble.
You're telling me we're not winning the Carabao Cup? He is gone. So I think it was more to do with they want to play attacking football, which obviously counteracts the club vision, what I'm doing. Cautious mentality will try and go for that. We are hitting early crosses, but everything else I have not touched one bit. In transition, we are countering, but we're not counter-pressing, which is exactly what Jurgen Klopp kind of brought to the Premier League when he signed for Liverpool, has managed that very high press, high intensity, not giving you any space even if you're like really far up the pitch. Distributing the ball to our fullbacks.
Same sort of thing with Pep, haven't they?
Yeah.
What do they call it? They got 10-second rule, innit?
Yeah.
We lose the ball. The first 10 seconds, everybody goes towards the ball.
Yeah, to try and win it back.
You ain't got it back, then you all
then
get
reshape.
Back yeah.
Absolutely. We are trying to get the ball to the fullbacks because they're dangerous, and we are throwing it long to them. Alisson's obviously very good in goal for that. Out of possession, this is where we're coming in. This is the low block. I will not be changing this throughout the whole rebuild. We are only a standard defensive line. This can move to a much lower or even a much higher or a higher, but we're going to stick on a standard for now. We don't want the pitch to be too crammed up, so I think doing that. We've got drop off more as defensive line instead of step up. This is the new offside rule, or trying to play as the offside trap, should I say. I missed out there. The trigger press is a less often. That's very unlike, like we mentioned there, Klopp's actual idea of a tactic. We are usually, this will be right up to the top.
Yeah.
The pressing trap is on the inside. We got so many men on the inside. We are allowing the play to come in the inside to hopefully try and win the ball back in advantageous positions, which is exactly what it says there in the pressing trap information selection. And we are trying to stop crosses should we actually allow the opposition to get on the wings. So that is what we are setting up like. It's very risky because I've never done it before, and this Liverpool side is so used to pressing, it's completely against it, but that's why it's a good challenge, I think, to start things off. So, how have we done so far? Let's take a look at the schedule. We started off winning the Community Shield 3-1 against Manchester City.
Good start then.
Very good. Konate, Salah, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. But our first game of the season, Dad, you're going to enjoy that one. It was a 2-1 win for Tottenham.
Go in the other videos? Get in there.
Yeah, exactly. Brighton, 2-1 win against them. It was a Mo Salah penalty which saved it, but then we lost to West Ham. Fabinho got himself sent off. A 3-0 win against Everton.
Oh, they take out any day of the week, wouldn't they?
Merseyside derby, yeah, we shown up for that one. Mo Salah getting 2 there. And then it was a 1-1 draw against Stevie Gerrard's Aston Villa team. Trent got himself sent off.
Stevie Gerrard, so is he? He's not there anymore.
Not anymore, no, but it might have been on this. Actually, I don't know whether the update would have still had him. Yeah, he's gone. Yeah. So Yogi Löw is the new manager. So I don't know whether they had updated it yet.
Yeah.
Chelsea is obviously our next game. Our Champions League group is quite an interesting one because the final of the Champions League last season, we meet them.
Yeah.
In the group
looking
stage.
At that group now, who would you say is the oldest team in that group now?
Well, Club Brugge. top of the
Hey,
group,
Their
gone
group,
through.
top of their group and gone through, innit?
Yeah, I think they actually got Bayern in their group as well,
think
haven't
they
they?
did, yeah.
But fair play to Club Brugge.
That
Really well
group,
impressed.
if you look at that group at this present moment,
It's upside down. Yeah. Incredible. So that is our Champions League group. Obviously, we've got the World Cup happening, so we've got a big gap in there. What do you think is the predict? What would you want to see? Because obviously Liverpool, they're a very successful team
They are
already, and this
I
team
think-
is very
I think
good.
I've read somewhere, but since they've been into the top league from, I think it was 1969, I think it was, they've never finished lower than 8th. So I'm going to say we can't afford to finish lower than 8th. So 8th is the lowest.
I think I'd be sacked. If I went that low, I think I would be sacked.
Top 7 then, with a bit of silver.
Okay, all right, okay. I'd expect a lot better anyway from Liverpool, but I'll take
It's the
that.
first season though. Players have got to get used to the system.
Yeah.
It can take them half a season to get used to this system.
Oh, it looks like it's going to.
There you go, see?
Yeah, fair enough. Right, okay. So, in case this is your first ever rebuild, by the way, with this being a new football manager, this is how we run things, and then we'll simulate the season, and then we'll check the results at the end. All my Patreon members have access to the save game files at the end of the rebuild. It's on a £5 tier should you wish to try and participate in that, and you also get to vote on future rebuilds. But by all means, leave comments in the comments section on
really
who
got
you want us
comments,
to
don't we?
rebuild. Yeah, because if you give us suggestions as well, the ones that get suggested the most, I then put in the Patreon poll, and that's how they get voted. So if this is your first time, then that's how we kind of run these rebuilds, and it's patreon.com/MegaLootGaming should you wish to save game file at the end, and the links down in the description. So, right, okay, let's simulate this first season and see how we get on. First season then, 4th place.
I'll take that.
And it was on the last game of the season. We overtook Arsenal there, 67 points.
I mean, we expect Man City to be top of the league.
Yes, we did indeed. Yeah, they got an unbelievable team with Erling Haaland join us. He wasn't the top scorer though. That was
Cristiano
Ronaldo,
It
42. That is definitely unrealistic
Yeah.
because he's not even starting.
No.
Right, okay. Isak there in 3rd place. There's no Liverpool players
Do you know
other than
what? I'll tell
Alisson's
you what,
clean
looking
sheet.
Looking at Isak there, what player I reckon he's going to be, for Newcastle.
I think he's going to be
It's
insane.
a shame at the moment. He came there, scored his first goal, got injured.
Yeah.
What a shame, because I think he's going to be a good player.
I think so as
and
well.
what a good team they are at the moment.
Oh
as well.
yes, very hard to beat. They
Yeah.
beat your Spurs team the other day.
Well, they're a better team one, I reckon. But
Yeah.
take that result to one side. What a good side they are.
Yeah, I agree. Everton got themselves relegated. Very good for this rebuild for
Yeah.
Liverpool fans. So yeah, I mentioned the only player that's on this statistic is the clean sheets, which we kind of was hoping for, I guess, in a way,
we got
playing a
more
low
defending,
block.
yeah,
Yeah,
so we
more
should-
defensive formation.
Yeah.
Other competitions though, how have we done? Have we got any silverware? Let's take a look. Runners up of the Carabao Cup. That trophy everybody wants. It's unbelievable now when you look at this and you think I was sacked in 1st place, eliminated from the quarterfinal, but because of that Carabao Cup, I was sacked.
Told you, mate, didn't I?
But this time round,
Yeah.
I kept my
kept your
job.
job.
Yeah. If we take a look at the club vision, we can see here. So they're rating it as a C. So that's not good. And the supporters are a C minus. And now supporters have an effect in this new game now. If they don't like you, that can have an effect on your job. So
Okay.
you have 2 things to please, which is
There's a couple of new
realistic.
things in the game that I quite like them, really.
Absolutely. And you can see here the supporters, one of the supporter cultures is the desired importance to play attacking football. And that is very disappointing that we're not doing it.
A lot of the supporters they do say things like this, don't they?
100%.
There's a lot of pressure on the directors and all that because they're not playing in entertaining football. I mean, Spurs are a prime one, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're having a right go at Conte at the
Wolves
moment.
are another one.
Yeah.
If they don't like how defensive it's set up and stuff like that, and there you go, like play entertaining football. They want to be entertained through attacking football.
West Ham
We're not doing
They've
that.
always had the West Ham way, haven't they? They
Yeah.
call it sort of.
Yeah, absolutely. So we need to keep note of this because we're actively going against it, really.
Yeah.
So it's difficult, but we need to kind of overperform and prove them right. Mo Salah got 31 goals this season. I've seen him break a lot more bigger records than that. Darwin Núñez's first season in England, 20 goals. It's not too bad.
I'll take that.
And Jota with 14. Very underwhelming for Jude Bellingham there. Only 2 goals, 3 assists, but he is playing a lot deeper. And it looks like Luis Diaz is unhappy, like I mentioned, because he is not playing a lot of games. How much money do we have to spend next season. Though it's £115 million with a good wage budget. We are losing James Milner, but there's there's no way that I'm going to be renewing a 37-year contract during a rebuild.
What a legend.
Well, he's played against all of my rivals for my Leeds, Liverpool, and City. Newcastle, I'm all right with, but still, I'm not exactly too fond about.
Can't be many neutral fans that doesn't like him though.
Oh yeah, he's a likable. I like him for how
no trouble whatsoever about coming from him, dear.
I like him because how much he embraces himself being boring.
Yeah.
Like he genuinely lives up to it. I think
never
it's
had
brilliant.
an alcoholic drink.
It's mental, isn't it? Yeah. Absolutely weird. Okay, we'll go forward to the second season. Before we do, today's video is sponsored by Manscaped. Halloween season is upon us, and there's nothing scarier than an overgrown forest. Luckily, my friends at Manscaped have the perfect pumpkin carving tools for anybody who wishes to venture down there. And turn your bite-sized treat into king-size candy with an extra 20% off and free shipping when you use code OMEGA at manscaped.com. It's trick or trim time, and you don't want to rely on Freddy Krueger to trim your balls. Instead, you want the performance package from Manscaped, which includes the Lawnmower 4.0. It has skin-safe technology and advanced cutting-edge ceramic blades to avoid any R-rated disasters. It's waterproof too, and it's the perfect product to add to your shower routine. The performance package also includes the Weed Whacker for your nose and ears, as well as Manscaped's liquid potions with the Crop Reviver Bore Deodorant and Crop Preserver Bore Toner. So when your werewolf is howling, you know you are fully prepared for when a full moon comes around. Manscaped even chuck in some gifts into the performance package, such as the Manscaped t-shirt and the comfiest boxes to cradle your crown jewels, as well as the travel bag to keep them all in. Now, there's plenty of other things at manscaped.com, such as the body buffer, the close shave package, and if you're looking like Wolverine and haven't cut your nails recently, there's also the Shears 2.0 nail kit. And remember, all of this can be slashed with 20% off this Halloween and delivered free to your house when you use code OMEGA at manscaped.com. Now, Dad, Alisson, I'd say, is one of the best goalkeepers in the world, right?
Yeah.
He's left and he is now at PSG. So the reason for it, now, this is a rebuild, like I said, and PSG came in.
You start from the number one, didn't you?
Yeah, well, we didn't actually get any money for him either.
Hey.
£0.
So he wanted to leave, did he?
He wanted to leave. PSG wanted to buy him. They offered me a certain amount of money, and I didn't want to give it to him. Then he kicked off because he wanted to leave even more. So I said, all right, PSG, you want Alisson, I'll do a straight swap. Alisson for Donnarumma.
I'll take that.
Yeah. Now, arguably, he is the best young goalkeeper on the game. So if we had to replace him with anybody, it is Donnarumma. So a straight swap, I'm all right with. So as you can see there, an exchange there of players. I mean, how good a goalkeeper he is. He's gone 3 different clubs and he's never cost a penny. But still, I'll take it. Now, he's not the only player that we signed. Rafael Leao. He has been tearing things up for AC Milan. Very good in the Champions League this season and in Serie A in the last couple of seasons. We assigned him on that left-hand side. Although, or a striker, sorry, he can play both. £79 million is how much I spent on him. He had a very dull season last season, although he did have a good average rating, but still.
He's hit the ground running with us, so he's got one goal already.
Absolutely. And there was one more signing. I signed Michael Olise from Crystal Palace, who I think is one of the best young wingers in the Premier League. I think he's so exciting to watch. And on this game, he actually looks like he's really good. So, as maybe a future replacement for Mo Salah, who is in his 30s now, that is another deal that we have brought into the club. So that was the only first team out, and we've brought in, I'd say, 3 good first teamers in.
Yeah, definitely,
So, we have changed tactics ever so slightly. We have gone to more of a Liverpool-friendly style tactic. We've moved from the 3 at the back and gone to a half-back role there, which is kind of Fabinho's forte. And now we've gone for 2 on the wings, which inside forwards with that pressing forward up top. This is Mo Salah's bread and butter on this right-hand side here. We got Michael Olise and Diogo Jota who can do a job. And we've got on that left-hand side now, we've got the likes of Leao, Diaz and Jota who can do all 3. And then, of course, up front, we have Mo Salah or Darwin Nunez or Diogo Jota, depending on how the assistant wants to run it. But I have changed it ever so slightly in the instructions as well. You're going to see, have I changed it in the instructions? Yes, fairly wide attacking width there, because now that we have the wingers, when we are on the counter attack, we have, not only do we have the wingers to start off with, but we have the fullbacks bombing on. Once they cut inside and drag the fullbacks away, there's space.
That's what Man City do, don't they? I mean,
Pretty much,
you look at Jack Grealish, he's got weight all down his boots all the time, but he's so far out the line.
Yeah. And then when he comes in, you've got the likes of Cancelo or whoever's playing left back now out there filling in the gap. So that's what we're looking like instead. Now, I haven't actually saved any of these tactics either because I'm toying with them as I'm going, but we've got a box-to-box and a ball-winning midfielder there with the halfback. That's what I'm looking like. And I've changed the sweeper keeper from defend to sweeper keeper on support because we are less defensive than what we were last season, so he kind of might need to come out a little bit more. That's my thinking, to be honest. I'm not the best tactician, in all fairness. It takes me a while to get into it throughout the game. So there we go. Right, now let's take a look at the schedule because it's been very fruitful for us so far this season.
Hello.
Yes. On the first game of the season, it was Aston Villa and we won 1-0, Mo Salah 52nd minute. Good stuff. Leeds, a 2-0 win away from home. Good stuff. Didn't concede a goal in either of those games, Robertson and Nunez, but this is my favourite result there because even though it was Man City, and yes, we were at home, it's a great result considering we are playing a low block. Darwin Nunez with 2, Rafael Leao with 1. Really good. Our Champions League group, let's take a look at it. We've got AC Milan, who we've just signed one of their best players from, arguably maybe their best player, Leipzig and Celtic.
I'll be disappointed if we don't win the group.
Yeah, I would be as well. So that's what we are hoping for. Right, okay, let's simulate this second season. Second season, and we win the title.
Get in.
And that game at the start, look, proved to be very important.
Yeah, definitely,
Won it by 2 points ahead of Manchester City. Huge result for us there, and we lost 3 out of the last 5. Yeah, we almost did. Maybe we were already crowned champions, I don't know, but we did very well. Darwin Nunez hot on the tails of Erling Haaland, just 1 goal away. So he started catching up. Lukaku is back in the Premier League and doing well for Chelsea. We do have 5.
You've gone back to Chelsea though, do you?
I know. We have 5 Champions League winners, so maybe United won the Europa League. Actually, I don't think they would have been in it. They might have been. I don't know. So, right, okay, we got Trent there in the most assists as well, playing very high now, given that license to go through. Yeah, Hugo Lloris the most. So we didn't get the most clean sheets this time round. We're not even in the top 3, which I am surprised with. So even though we're playing a low block,
I don't believe it was the top.
Yeah. Best keeper in the league.
Weakest keeper in the league, I think.
All right, okay, so that's good, that's fantastic. But what have we done in other results? That's our first piece of silverware and getting the league title done. I think now I want to start winning over those fans who have maybe been questioning my methods of a low block. They might have gone, all right, fair enough.
Do you know who Liverpool's most successful manager was?
Paisley?
Paisley, yeah. He won 20 trophies in 9 years.
Yeah.
But he didn't win 1 trophy.
FA Cup?
FA Cup, yeah. I couldn't believe that.
That is mental, to be fair, yeah.
I thought he must have been gutted when he was... I don't know whether he actually resigned or they sacked him in the end. I don't know. I can't remember now. But not to win that, you know...
Especially when that was really important back then as well, in the 70s, wasn't it?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to win the FA Cup.
Yeah.
It was the... I mean, I've always said to you about the day of the FA Cup when I was younger, it was a whole day's entertainment.
Yeah.
Right from the players leaving the hotel, on the coach, you'd be on the coach with them, you'd be on the coaches with the spectators and all that. It was a whole day's entertainment. Brilliant. I love the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't believe it. It didn't win the FA Cup. No, 20 trophies in 9 years.
If somebody gave you the option, though, back then, of 1 FA Cup, or how many European Cups did you win? 3?
3 won.
Of that, what would you have taken, though? 3 European champions.
You got to take the European champion.
Yeah.
You got to take that.
Yeah, I agree.
As much as, you know, you'd love to win the FA Cup because of what comes with it. Your bread and butter is your league.
Yeah.
I think every player wants to win their own league. And then it's the Champions League.
Yeah.
Because then you're the best in Europe, and you're
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
So obviously we've won our league, bread and butter.
Yeah.
What have we done in other competitions? Let's take a look. Oh.
Nearly won them all.
Still can't win that Carabao Cup.
So we got in every final.
We did what Liverpool did last season, and we played every possible game that we possibly could.
Yeah.
And we've seen how much that has been detrimental to Liverpool at the start of this season. Obviously, I still think I actually reckon that might be the reason why they're still very tired. They didn't really get a rest today.
No.
We got to the Champions League final. We won the FA Cup.
Yes.
and we lost the Carabao Cup.
I can handle losing that.
Let's take a look at the final there. We lost to Man City in the final there, so that's disappointing 1-0. We never actually seen what we did the season before, do we? We'll check that now. Who did we lose against that first season? It was Man City again. 3-0 that time round. I reckon the amount of games we played Man City must be outrageous. FA Cup final, was it against them? No, Brighton got to the final. Fair play.
Yeah.
But we beat them 4-0, so that's annoying for them, isn't it?
Is it going to be an English team or a foreign team?
What, for the Champions League?
Yeah.
I'm going to go English. I reckon it's all English final, yeah.
I reckon it's
going
to be a Spanish side.
Really? Yeah. Only because there's 4 players four clubs there, so one of them might have won that. I don't know. Let's take a look. Champions League, runners up, beaten by PSG. Ooh. Jordan Henderson. No, it wasn't Jordan Henderson. Who did we sell? The goalkeeper, Alisson. Damn it. We sold the goalkeeper, Alisson.
This is all happening Champions League.
It did. Inter Milan won it the first season, interestingly enough. Yeah. Quite good for them. But that's devastating. Let's take a look at that final game then and see how it played out. So we had Mbappe scored in the 12th minute, Mo Salah scored in the 63rd, 80th minute, Neymar, with an assist from Sergio Ramos, which is a bit odd, but there we go.
I watched them the other night when they won 7-1.
Against Maccabi Haifa.
I mean,
that front three looked deadly, didn't it?
Messi is just doing what he's back to where he was playing with
Barcelona. Yeah, in his prime.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a huge Mbappe fan. I know he's talented, of course. I just don't like the attitude and the stigma around it. Yeah. But some of the finishes that he was pulling out, good lord. Like, it was like, oh, you blocked my shot, did you? I'll just stick it in the top corner then. I felt so sorry for that keeper. He couldn't get close to any of it, could he?
No.
He was diving. I just thought, stop diving, mate. There's no point. There's literally no point. Okay, but that was a deadly front three. 7-1 in the end, was it? Something like 7-2.
They're going to be an hard side to stop this year in the Champions League. I think.
Yeah, but they always fall, don't they, against a big team? That's the trouble.
I mean, they're like Man City, aren't they? But they've improved and improved each year. Same as Man City, and it could be down to one of those teams. I think.
Yeah.
Win the Champions League this year.
Yeah, I think it's City's to lose. I really do.
100%. With Haaland being playing there now.
Yeah, I really do.
So many different ways they can play now.
Yeah, same as the Premier League. And I know Arsenal's had a great start. I really do think it's City's to lose.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal haven't played City yet. I'm really interested about that game. It was supposed to be on Tuesday when we're recording this.
Yeah.
But it got cancelled because Arsenal had to play their Europa League.
Yeah.
So, okay, fair enough. Right, so, great season, I think. I'm curious of what the fans... So, bored, A+, absolutely loving us. They think we're amazing.
They got it, haven't they?
Yeah.
And across the money, we just won the Bleeding League and got every final. So it's got to be an A+, isn't it?
Play attacking football and it's satisfied. Okay. Again, play attacking football, satisfied. When you're winning, still supporters at C+.
Yeah.
They're still going to gripe against me. Play high tempo pressing, disappointed. That's new, isn't it? Did that come up? I can't remember whether that was there before, but there we go. Even though it's only a C+, we've won the league, runs of the Champions League and the FA Cup. They're still not exactly too happy. We got something to prove in our third season there. 127 million.
First as well, Liverpool was involved in the very first game that was televised on Match of the Day.
Oh, really?
Against Arsenal. I think it was 1964.
Yeah.
But they were also involved in the very first game that was televised in colour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. I can imagine watching games in black and white. I think it's hard enough, like, sometimes when you watch a game now and you think, who's that on the ball?
Yeah.
Like, imagine there being black and white, so you can't really tell the difference between the two kits. Okay, let's go on to the third season then, see how we get on. Now, our first signing of the year was Eduardo Camavinga. Fantastic young talent from Real Madrid. Now, he wasn't playing many games for Real Madrid, which is the reason why he wanted to leave. He was on the transfer list of £55 billion, and for me, he is kind of the perfect player to bring in when we're looking to kind of phase out the likes of Thiago, who has left the club now, run out of contract, and Fabinho, who is in his 30s. So as a midfield player, this guy's fantastic. He joins the club 21 years of age, £55 million.
It's a good price, to be honest with you, for a player like that.
I agree. Champions League winner already at the age of 18, 19, wherever he was when he won that. Incredible. We sold Fabio Carvalho as a kind of replacement, really. He plays a little bit further up the pitch, but he never really developed because we're not really giving him the game time, and he's 22. Dortmund offering me £20 million. I'm going to take that. We also signed 2 players. We signed a goalkeeper, which Liverpool sold a few years ago, and I didn't realise it until I bought him. Because I bought him, and then I seen Liverpool up there. I was like, oh, look, he already played for Liverpool. Camille Grabara, I actually shown him in a must-buy video because he's a good backup goalkeeper. £7.5 million. And to be honest, you can't argue he's good enough. So when Donnarumma, if he cannot ever play, this is the guy to go to. He's quite cheap. Why not pick him up? He's only 25 years of age, and we're in the third season here. But the final signing that we made was Mohamed Simakan, £47 million. This guy is going to be kind of like A legacy signing again for when Van Dijk leaves, because I think Van Dijk is 33, something like that now. So if I was trying to, well, I did try and sell, I'm not going to lie, Salah and Van Dijk every single season. I've tried to make this like a complete rebuild, and yet still haven't been able to get rid of them yet. Although Real Madrid are very cheeky. So Salah was worth £120 million. So I put him on the transfer list, or I offered him out for 100 million. Guess how much they offered?
70?
50. Yeah. I was like, what? As if I'm going to accept that.
Yeah.
I was like, 55 and we'll have a deal.
Yeah.
Simakan then, so we brought him in. He can also play right wing back, which is the reason why. And should we really need to, you can play in the half back roles, which I think is quite good. So we brought him in from Leipzig, £47 million. He did quite well last season. He's doing quite well at the start of this season. He's played 3 games so far for us. Okay, so that's good. Tactically then, we are exactly the same as what we was last season, because why would we change it? We did very well. Won the league, got to the champion. We played every single game we possibly could.
Yeah.
We actually did really well. So this is what we're looking like. Let's take, and I want Camavinga to play as many games. I think it's about time. We need to give him that game time so he can reach his full potential. And he's not going to do that sat on our bench. So schedule-wise then, let's take a look at the start of the season. We start off the Community Shield. It was a 5-1 drumming by Manchester City. But if I was going to lose any game, it's the Charity Shield.
Yeah.
Don't really care, because then after that, then we turned things on and we scored 14 goals and only conceded 1.
Good.
Leicester, 4-1 away from home. Darwin Nunez got himself a hat-trick. Rafael Leao scored. He did have a good season last season, Leao. That's one thing that I forgot to show you. He had a very poor season. Only 6 goals from 34 games. It's not great when you're playing in a league-winning side.
No.
Playing in the front 3. Watford, 3-0 against them. Konate, Van Dijk and Salah. That looks like probably 2 corners maybe. And I haven't set up any of the corners or anything like that. Crystal Palace, 7-0. But Darwin Nunez, he lost his head and got himself straight red carded.
What was it saying about him?
Yeah, 87th minute. He probably walloped someone.
Yeah.
7-0 up at that point as well. And he got himself red carded.
Why?
Absolute idiot. And he misses now the Chelsea game, the Hull game, and the Arsenal game. So he misses 2 very important games.
Yeah. Chelsea
Or
and
if
Arsenal,
it counts the Carabao Cup, he misses the Man City game, which is a difficult Carabao.
Yeah.
Are we not going to win the Carabao Cup or what?
Don't look like it, is it?
God. Champions League group then. Let's take a
We won it
look.
the first season, didn't we? That's what kept
No,
me
we
a job.
can't. Did we?
Yeah,
oh, yeah, we
kept
did.
a job, didn't it? Yeah.
Thank God for that. Champions League is all changed now, Dad. This is going to be the new format
Right.
going forward in the 24-25 season in real life as well. It looks like it sucks.
Yeah.
I don't really know how it works, to be honest, but it looks like you need to be in the top 8 to go through to the round of 8, the round of 16.
How many games
I don't really know. I think you play 8, but you play 6 before Christmas, 2 after.
Right.
I believe, from when I was reading, because I flicked over to see, I haven't had my group stage yet. Clicked. I was like, what the f*** is this? For some reason, there's 36 teams in here, so yeah, I don't really know. We'll have to see how this goes. So we can't really predict how we're going to do in the groups or anything. It's going to be something that's going to be brand new to us going forward in the rebuilds once we get to that 3rd season every single year. I don't really like it. We fought against the Super League, and the Champions League changed theirs into a Super League.
Unbelievable, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So let's take a look then. That's what it's going to be for this 3rd season. How do you think we should do after obviously winning the league, runners up in every other competition, and winning the FA Cup?
You're not going to have a good season like that again, are you? So
No.
You've got to stay in the top 4. Stay in the Champions League, I expect. But I still want a bit of silver, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Before we go a bit further, though, we'll just do a little bit of history on Liverpool. I've spoken about you about the Liverpool ground before. Who was the first tenants at Liverpool?
Everton. Yeah.
And they were Everton, weren't they? They left because of the rent.
Yeah. Do you reckon that's why Jamie Carragher claims he supports Liverpool? Even though we all knew he grew up as an Everton fan.
He's an Everton fan. I know he is.
Yeah. I can't stand him. Ever since he spat at that person, I can't stand him.
I must admit, it did put me off him. But so they wouldn't pay the rent. They moved off somewhere else, and someone set up a team called Liverpool then. But they played in blue and white. Their first 4 seasons they played in blue and white.
I bet they got their kit from Blackburn.
Well, you funny.
No way.
No. It was a half and half.
Oh, right, okay,
so
yeah, like
Blackburn.
Blackburn
Kit, so, as we would know, the old Blackburn kit. So and that's the sort of a bit of history with Liverpool. But in their first season that they played in the Football League, which was 1894, I think it was, they beat a team called Newton Heath 2-0.
Manchester United.
Yes, they are. They're Man United. As we
Green and gold until we're sold.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. But they were also, when we were talking about first team to do something, they were also first to something else as well. They were also the first team to have a sponsorship on their shirts.
Oh, really?
Which was Hitachi.
Money grabbers. Oh, was there controversy when that happened?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, I'd imagine there would be. Now
it's
just pitch.
It was like,
happens, isn't it?
out there for money again and all that.
Yeah.
that was unfortunate. That's the way things are going nowadays,
Yeah.
isn't it? I mean, the name in your
Can't get
stadiums
rid of like they're everywhere, and they arms, back, everywhere. On the back of the shorts,
back of the shirts as well.
Yeah.
Things like, well, yeah, a lot of teams would do. Leagues, I think, were one. They had
all of those
on the shorts as well, didn't they? So,
happens.
So, you can't blame these teams.
I mean, Man United get, I think it was £20 million for their training tops.
Yeah.
For their who's buying that?
You'd be surprised.
It's mental, isn't it?
I think sometimes their training tops are better than the blinging kits they actually wear.
True.
Some of the blinging teams you play.
Yeah, £20 million. I think that's like £20 million maybe a season. I don't know whether that's true or not. I know it was £20 million a figure, whether it was throughout the whole thing or across the season. But yeah, 20 minutes. Because then all of a sudden it was like Rashford come out was like a picture in his training top, like on his Twitter and that. It's like, it was so social media. But yeah, that's quite an interesting Liverpool first team ever to do it. Were they the most successful at the time when it happened? Then that's probably what I'd imagine would have been the case. They were probably league winners, most successful, probably around Europe.
I think it was in the 70s or not.
Yeah, late 70s probably, I'd imagine. So I think it's quite funny how Nottingham Forest still don't have a sponsor. I mean, we're looking at their kit right here. They still don't, in the Premier League for the first season in such a long time, and they don't have a shirt sponsor.
I mean, you can only put it down to the man who owns them now is one of the richest men in the world, type thing, and so they can afford not to have it at this present moment. But you would think that someone would be jumping to get their name on that shirt, even if it was a 1-year contract.
Just eyes on the shirt, innit? Eyes on the shirt. Like, companies don't care whether it's the worst club in there, with the eyes that go on the Premier League around the world, because a lot of them are all betting sites, aren't they? And they're not even English betting sites,
which I don't think should be allowed.
No, I agree. I remember there was a big stigma around like booze, and obviously Liverpool was one of them, weren't they? Carlsberg for a long time.
They were Liverpool's biggest and longest sponsorship.
Yeah, they were like the Vodafone.
They were probably the best team in the world at the time.
At the time, yeah. Probably so. Okay, we'll take a look. Here we go. Like goals, 5, and Nunez and Haaland already after three games, both are on 5. They're locking horns already this early on. Van Dijk's up there with the highest average rating, and Trent's up there with 4 assists already. So we're already topping the player statistics. So we need to keep that going.
Erling Haaland, I heard an interesting thing on him the other day.
Go on.
I think he's got 16 goals. Is it 16 or 17 goals already?
Disgusting like that already.
And someone said he's 6 goals away from the Golden Boot last season, and we haven't put our clocks back yet.
Mental, innit? Absolutely mental.
Oh, what a start of the season he's had. And who doubted him? Who thought he wasn't going to do it?
I seen the other day, it was like the only team Erling Haaland scored against this season is Bournemouth. Okay, let's simulate this season, see how we get on. 3rd season, and we drop down to 3rd place.
All right.
We are 12 points behind Manchester City as well. So we didn't have that good of a season. We lost 9 games in total there.
Yeah.
Not the best. Yeah. Man City, did they get the double on us? They didn't. No, it looks like we actually lost against every team we lost against. We only lost against once.
Lost against Watford and they got relegated though.
Yeah. Champions League in 11th place there. That's mental, isn't it? You did finish in 11th. I won't celebrate too much.
We've won something, though.
How embarrassing are these Spurs fans? Hey, how embarrassing. The Golden Boot, though, who won it? Oh, we're not even in it. What? After five goals in 3 games, he didn't even get to 21. I can't believe that. How many did he get in the end then? He must have dropped off massively. He finished in 4th place on 20 alongside Romelu Lukaku there. So Erling Haaland finished on 30, running away with it. Didn't really have anybody chasing him. He did get the second highest average rating, and Kostas Tsimikas got the most assists there, 14, even though Robertson also got 12. So we got a lot of goals from that left-hand side because they're both left backs. Okay, other competitions then. How did we do? We are the Champions League winners. We've done it. We've done it. Yeah.
Full lot.
3-2 against Chelsea. Fantastic. Kai Havertz in the 6th minute. 32 minutes we scored Michael Olise. Darwin Nunez got the 72nd. 78 was Rafa Leao. James Maddison only got an 83rd consolation goal, but we won the Champions League. So we take a look at the route for the Champions League and see. I want to see this stage first. I want to see this weird. What is going on here? So.
We finished 5th.
God, we're going to have to see who we actually played. So Lazio finished top. They only lost 1 game against Man United, who finished 3rd. I don't really know what's going on, but PSG finished outside of it. So does that mean PSG, Milan, Chelsea, Athletic, Real Madrid down in 14th? Does that mean they don't actually go through? I don't know.
I mean, they got, beside all our names as well, they got all qualified. So
yeah.
Qualified for what? Qualified for the next round or qualified for next year?
Yeah, that's. God knows. If we go to the knockout round, so this is the first round of knockouts. So finals there, Juve, Ajax, they didn't qualify. PSG. So this, I see. So that might be the following 20 teams, is it? What's that?
Because Lazio was not there.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Lazio,
so that's 16.
There.
That's 16 teams that didn't make the top 8.
Right.
Then 8 of them go through. Obviously, whoever wins. And they play the 8 that did qualify. So they've got to play another round. So that's what it is. So you want to finish the top 8, so you avoid playing another round of games. Okay, it kind of makes sense. I just don't like change. But yeah, it's 8 games that you play.
Do they?
But who determines what 8 games it is? That's what I don't agree with. Because imagine if like you played against random teams down the bottom, and say Bayer Leverkusen here played Man City, Inter Milan, Bayern Munich, and Man United. You'd be a bit. I don't buy, wouldn't you? Whether it's seeded or not, I really don't know. But it's a little bit confusing. So round of 16.
We've got that to look forward to, then, haven't we?
Yeah, I can't wait. Celtic we faced. We beat them 5-1 on aggregate across the 2 legs there. On to the quarter-final. Then we played Arsenal, which actually had 4 English teams in the quarterfinals there. We beat them 4-1 on aggregate. Semi-final, we played against Manchester City.
Yes.
And that's where we overcame them 6-2 on aggregate. Very good result there. Yeah. And then, of course, we beat Chelsea in the final. Who did we face in the group stage then? So we played Valencia, Juve, Benfica, Basel, Ajax, Bayer Leverkusen, and Celtic and PSV.
So we're only playing teams once then?
Yeah, we played
teams twice.
Yeah, and we played teams in January, which is odd. And then we played Celtic after just facing them 2 games ago in the round of 16. It's very odd and peculiar. I don't understand how the 8 teams get determined who you play against. But let's take a look at player statistics then. We had a lot of injuries too. Look at this. So 31st of May, he was injured during the final, which I did see. Mo Salah broke his ankle against Man City in the semi-final and missed the final and the end of the season. And Jude Bellingham damaged cruciate in April and missed the last two months.
So we won the Champions League without 2 of our best players.
Without Mo Salah and Jude Bellingham. That's quite impressive.
Yeah.
That is quite impressive. And Mo Salah is leaving the club and is joining Real Madrid. He did not sign a new deal. I did offer him one. At the last season.
You spent 3 seasons trying to get rid of him, and then when he decided to go, you tried to keep him.
Yeah. I should have took that £50 million from Real Madrid because they got him on a freebie now. But this is where the rebuild ends because we've won everything.
Yeah.
We've won everything using a low block. God, I don't want to try it again. I probably will with other teams, just not with Liverpool. It's been very difficult to play a low block and keep your job. But there we go. So Patreon members, you're going to take it over in the 4th season. And your first job is to either integrate another player like Leao, like Jota, or Elise, or Diaz into that Mo Salah role. Because, of course, he is leaving the club. Or you do have a grand total of £91 million to find a player to buy instead. So that's your task. What about Dad's task? What would you say is the target for the next 3 or 5 years for anybody else who wants to take this on?
We're champions of Europe. I would struggle to say that you're going to do that again. We come 3rd in the league. So this season, you've got to try and win the league. Win the league. Yeah, that's the main challenge. Try and win the league. If you win anything apart from that, great. Yeah. But there's your challenge, to win the league in your 5 seasons that you take it over then. Yeah. If you can do it with a low block, then bonus points. Yeah, just have a go with it. Yeah. Even if you try it for 2 seasons, we've done it for 1 season, got ourselves going, and then just sort of built on that. Yeah. Have a go at it. See how you get on with it. Absolutely. Thank you very much. We've got to ask the Scousers first. Oh, yeah. Anfield. How's the food? What's the food like at Anfield? We want to know. Is it nice? Is it expensive? What is the food like at Anfield? Let us know down in the comment section. I know quite a lot of people who've been to Anfield, and I know there's quite a lot of Liverpool fans who are viewers, so I'm sure we'll get some good answers. I'm excited to read them. But thank you very much for everybody watching. Let's hope for a massive year in FM23. If you haven't picked it up yet and you're still waiting to, of course, there's my code omega at 2game.com, which you can check out, and I'll put the link in the description for that, as well as the Manscaped link as well. Everybody who supports my sponsors, you're actually supporting me as well, because it means they want to sponsor me more, so I really do appreciate that. And of course, Patreon members, the save game file will be available to you as soon as this video ends, so go over there and take a look. And if you want to sign up, I thank you very much, and hope you enjoy using the save game files and try and complete some of Dad's tasks that he gives you with these save game files. Thank you, and we'll see you next week. I'm not going to tell you who it's going to be, but it's going to be a banger. Bye-bye.